upstairs at Phacemag. Can I ask you a bit more about the album?
Yeah, it was I suppose it was a labour of love, because we basically got together, you know, for time-wise, we could only do it like one day a week in the evening.
And you were telling me about the drummer. It sounds amazing.
And the drummer. So what happened was we got the album done pretty much, or most of the tracks, and then it was like, well, maybe we should try and, because we started getting live trumpets and, you know, stuff like that in, and live everything else was live.
Isn't that really complicated? Isn't all the actual effort of doing that?
Yeah, it's just tough. It's really just patience, really, and then you try and get everybody together at the right time.
In your living room.
One thing I could I was no patience whatsoever. So my hat's off to you on that.
Well, what it was like it became a kind of drive. You know, it was like the early days when I was doing the Duvet Brothers, and we were just like working all the time, and we were just like driven to do stuff. And then it became a bit like that with the music, and it's because it was a whole new thing for me. And then
that gorgeous momentum at the start of the project that keeps you going.
Yeah, it was great. We just got lost in writing songs, and you know, everything's sort of churning up from history for the songs. Did
you send a song to the drummer, and he said he was going to?
Yeah. So basically, I went to Thailand with William Orbit after we'd done a video for him back in the late '80s, and we went there with Sonny from S Express and about 10, 11 people. Partying, and Fergus was the drummer, and he was kind of a mate, became a good friend of mine for the holiday, and then I hadn't really seen him since then. So
I'm surprised you can remember the holiday.
Yeah, well, it was great. I mean, there was just the memory of Fergus as we'd driven on a motorbike to go to the other side of this island, and it was dark and we couldn't get back, and we had to persuade this guy to show us the way back through this old track, you know, with rivets and crap in it, and it was really dangerous, through the jungle. And on the way back, I was following their lights on my motorbike, and he was on the back of the other guy's bike, and suddenly this thing leapt out from the jungle, just grabbed him, and he was like, oh, his leg just went, I just saw the shape of his leg pushing this thing off, and I was like, what the fuck was that? When we got back, and he's like, it was some kind of monkey or orangutan or something. That jumped out.
Okay.
Yeah. That's why I remembered it. So then, when we were doing the song and everything, I thought of him because he's the top drummer and percussionist, and sent him the track, and then he's like, yeah, okay. So he came in and did compatibility, and then he said, you know, I'm not being funny, but if you want me to do the whole album, I'll just book a day, I'll do the whole album. Like, yeah, right.
He said he loved it, you know, he's right. Really
yeah, well, he must have done.
He said what he liked about it, he said it's liberating for him, because it's quite, he said it's quite free, you know, you're not prescriptive about things. And he loved that whole thing.
You don't do something you don't want to do for
like a top session musician.
Yeah. Have we got time? Do you want to do a reading?
Well, I could try to do one. I've got
just explain. What is it? Just lyrics, isn't it? Or
yeah. I mean, I've got a couple of lyrics. Okay, I'll try this. Barcelona, which is one of the tracks on the album, and it's basically a song that is around the idea of a kind of holiday romance that kind of goes horribly wrong, and sorry, he's putting me off now. Just sitting there like fucking. No.
Chappie did. Yeah. Hey Chappie, you said fuck off.
Yeah, fuck off, mate.
Fuck off out of it.
Yeah,
look away. Look away.
It's like a holiday romance that goes wrong, and then you know, it doesn't work out the way you know that thing. And
we've all been there.
And the inspiration was when we went to Leytonstone to see BJ Cole playing, because we wanted to get him to play pedal steel on another track.
Okay. And
I was walking through Leytonstone late at night, and that's when the whole idea was like, imagine being on holiday. No offence to Leytonstone, because it's a great place. If you know, but I was imagining some sort of people, you know, maybe the girl come back, promise all these promises made to her, and she's come back and they're living in a sort of one-bedroom flat and making stuff. And so I ended up writing this.
There's a cold light of day, and when you get back,
So I'll give it a bash. So it goes. Back in Barcelona when we tore up the night, walking on the beaches, dancing in the light. Remember when we made a pact to back each other up? Remember when we made the wish and drank it from a cup? But now your towel is drying on the rocks of your disdain. I can't believe you've had enough and want to throw it in. I know I promised everything, I'd take you to the stars, drinking cocktails in the clubs and driving fancy cars. I know I did my very best to get you in my arms. I had to fight off all the rest and use my special charms.
I told you all the stories designed to impress. I sketched the perfect picture as you took off your dress.
Don't be daft, I saw the truth come spinning out of you. We didn't need any proof, we didn't have a clue.
I love the way you made that face when you were feeling mad. I love the way we would embrace when I was feeling sad. But you're not the man I thought you were when we were on the beach. The moon was shining in your eyes and everything's in reach. Now I'm sitting here and I'm crying on the phone.
It's not the way like it was back in Barcelona.
Brilliant.
I'm sorry if you're... I could just do that. Hang on. And then it goes...
You locked your love inside a bone and threw away.
buried it beneath a stone so far away from me.
Beneath the stone so far away from me.
Well, maybe I didn't do what I should. Maybe I couldn't see. I was blinded by the other things that happened once to me.
Do you remember when they stole you and robbed you of your soul?
Do you remember when they tore your heart and stuck it on a pole? We found love in Barcelona. We found love in Rome. We found love in California, but not in Leytonstone.
Are your songs very storytelling all the time? Do you start off with a lyric? Or
Yeah, well...
Is it music, or do you just jump in with
Both
it?
ways. Both ways,
No
maybe.
set formula?
No.
I mean, yeah, it just evolves in weird different ways. Sometimes, like Gary would come just have a ready-made track already.
Yeah.
Like I think Compatibility was like that. And we'd met in the pub to just pre-going to the studio, and we were going to work on one song. And then he's like in the car, and he said, "Oh, play this track I've just been doing." We listened to the track, and I was going, "We've got to do that. We've got to do that."
Yeah.
And then when we got back, and I was just like, "Just press record." We got into the room, just press record. Don't nothing.
Yeah.
Just got straight in. Press record and then I improvised.
I'm a big
song.
believer in anything you write with emotion, it's with that piece forever.
Yeah.
It's written into
Yeah,
it.
it's pretty much done.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can feel the emotion in the piece if it's written with emotion or some, you know.
Yeah. Well, a lot of the songs were like that. They came, you know, they all. But
Not massive emotion, but with
Yeah.
honest.
Comes out from a real place.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's a kind of sort of song. You know, that's a story. A lot of them are kind of stories and trying to conjure up pictures and images and
Yeah.
stuff like that. But one of them was Inertia. I think came from, which was a bit more, you know, less structured in a kind of story way. But it came out of what did it come out of? Came out of something. I think it just came out of my head.
Just came out.
Yeah.
Just came out.
But oh yeah, so it was a combination of things, which was another time my nephew was talking about joining the army, right, and everyone was getting a little bit worried about it, and I told my father about it at the time, and he said don't worry about it, and I was like, why is that? And he goes. The Boyds have got a streak of cowardice. You'll never do
He'll
it.
never make you from
You'll
that.
never do it. Yeah, and then I thought that's brilliant. And then,
Such honesty.
yeah, and then the other thing, I was in Orkney. I kind of, my mother has this house in Orkney, and I go up there to try and write. So
Yeah.
I go up specifically to write a song,
Yeah.
and then all this stuff floating around, and there's, you know, the World War, you know, the first, you know, the German fleet from the First World War
Yeah,
scuttled.
that's right. Yeah,
So-
I forgot the name of the.
Scattered Flow. So there's kind of those images. You know, I was thinking about things like that for some reason. Anyway, and I combined it
Dirty,
all
that
up.
was always a dirty trick, wasn't it? That was sneaking in there.
Oh, that's when they took destroyed the the other ship. So it goes. So it's called Inertia, and it's got a yellow streak of cowardice running through my bones, been in the blood for centuries, like the rings on a tree, a parody of windswept emptiness. That's all that's left.
Now it's done and dusted, corroding your soul like a sunken ship, battle worn and busted. For frozen shell from an unwelcome hell, a place I think you know quite well. Tell me you didn't do it. Tell me you didn't do it. Tell me you didn't do it.
And that basically works around on that.
Brilliant.
It's your kind of favourite. Another one was, do one more?
Do one more, and you can do it. I'm looking forward to this jam. I'm intrigued how you pick up a piece and flow with it. So yeah,
We'll see.
Yeah.
if it's rubbish, I'm just going to go downstairs.
You just walk out the room now.
I think I'll just leave it actually. Maybe. Oh, sure. I don't know.
You can always come back.
Yeah, come back.
Yeah.